In this video, I'm focusing only on hair coloring and shading, so I'll be using this one of the line art files to walk you through the process. If you look closely, the line art follows the natural flow of the hair. Each section is clearly enclosed, with no loose or uneven endings. So, for the base color, I am using a mid-tone gray. Add a new layer, a multiply layer, to get slightly darker tones. Use a soft, slightly thick brush around the edges, in the center, and especially on one side of the front bangs, where the light doesn't really reach. Then go even darker. On a new layer, draw shorter, deeper shadows, mostly at the ends and under the larger chunks of hair. This shows where strands overlap and adds depth. Now take a soft airbrush and lightly stroke either end of the hair. I used a faint purple-blue tone here, just a light touch to add softness. Lastly, for the highlights, make a new layer and, with a soft pen, draw 2 lines on either side of the hair. I prefer using a glow layer for this. You can do an overlay layer too, but a glow layer gives the hair that shiny, reflective effect. Then gently erase the middle section to create that flowing effect, like the strands are curving. Make sure you finish all the erasing on this step before merging layers. If you try to erase later, it gets messy and hard to fix. Finally, I added a subtle tint of pinkish purple with the airbrush, just a thin stroke over the highlights. It gives a natural glow and makes the hair pop. You can also add a few extra highlights on top, really thin lines in the same layer, just enough to support the main highlights without overpowering them. Now blur these highlights a bit so they look softer and shinier. Then add a light airbrush stroke on top, just to boost that shiny effect. So that's the full process I use to color and render anime hair. But before we finish, here are a few quick tips for the line art that helped me early on, because sometimes the real issue is not coloring, it's the line art. First, keep your hairline art on its own layer, separate from the face. It makes fixing things easier. Second, don't draw hair flat on the scalp. Start at about an inch above the head to add volume. Third, make sure your hair shapes are fully closed with no gaps. That small detail makes coloring look cleaner. Get the base right, and everything else becomes smoother.